The forest slowly became darker as the day passed. It getting darker isn't helping me. Claire scanned the forest again after she thought to have spotted a shadowy figure. Unfortunately, Claire felt as though what she thought she spotted was just the shadows of the trees as the sun descended in the sky. Trying to ignore the feeling of being followed, Claire changed thoughts. It was then that she noticed that the air felt heavier. Is it just me, or is the energy getting thicker in the air? Bill asked the group. I felt it. Claire confirmed Bill's suspicions about the energy. Abby was quiet, as though trying to think about something. What are you thinking about? Tommy asked her. Pulled from her thoughts, Abby looked at Tommy. I just have this feeling that what Claire thought she saw, and the energy getting stronger, isn't a coincidence. Listening to Abby's words, Claire had a sinking feeling that the two were connected. The twins stood close to one another, each one focusing on one side of the group. Though the two tended to enjoy making light comments, it was evident that they were taking the matter seriously. I get the feeling that we'll soon find out what it was that Claire had seen, Astrid said from where she was walking behind the group. She was quiet before saying, but it could also be the case that whatever was sighted is just following our group, knowing that we'll encounter a dangerous situation. Why do you think that? Hannah asked. She was on the other side of the twins. Her face looked as though she was both curious and anxious about what Astrid was thinking about. Pausing for a moment, Astrid continued, I'm not sensing any hostile intent. Hostile intent? Claire asked. You can sense that? Being able to sense such things from the monsters felt like a magical ability, beyond what normal humans were able to sense. Pressing her lips together, Astrid said, both Frida and I have learned to pick up on it. The problem is that it isn't always reliable. There have been moments where monsters have attacked us when we hadn't sensed anything. It's honestly better than nothing, Abby said to both Frida and Astrid. You never know when getting a heads up about an attack earlier will be what lets you not get killed. Astrid is far better than I am, at least when sensing bloodlust, Frida specified. It's not something you can actively develop, but an ability you can pick up after surviving a lot of dangerous situations. Astrid nodded. Being in this forest with the high energy levels will likely be helpful. Though I don't feel any hostile feelings directed to us, there is a feeling that we're currently being watched. Whatever it is, it seems to be gathering information. For what purpose? I don't know. Her eyes shifted to the side, as though trying to catch whatever was trailing them in the corner of her vision. Is that the same with you? Tommy asked Frida. Continuing to look ahead, Frida shook her head. As I mentioned, Astrid is far better than me. I do pick up a feeling, but it's like someone breathing down my neck. Based on what Astrid had said, I'm guessing that this is the same thing. Claire tried to imagine how much suffering the two women had to experience in order to develop such a survival skill. She suspected that it was through hundreds of deaths that eventually they picked up the ability to sense a presence. It then made sense why Astrid and Frida thought positively about building a house inside the monster-infested woods. I imagine living in that kind of environment would eventually allow even Hannah and I to be able to detect hostile elements. Claire tried to picture having to live under such daily pressures. Claire looked to check up on the others to see what they were thinking about. Based on how her friend looked, Hannah was contemplating the same thing that went through Claire's mind. Looking ahead, out of the corner of her eyes, she spotted movement. Getting tired of the game, Claire thought about ignoring it, but ended up deciding against it.